wonderful to have you back on our YouTube channel. My name is Gospel.
And hi everybody, my name is Amara. Great to see you all. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. I just thought I should say that before we start. Today, we want to have another conversation around how you can become a better spouse. Now, a lot of times when in a relationship, people focus on how the other person can be better for them. But this time around, we just want to talk about how can I be the better person? How can I be the better spouse in that relationship? And that's all we're going to be considering today. So we might be giving you a couple of tips. Please do tell us in the comment section what you think about this.
Yes. You know the thing, rather than focusing on helping your spouse become a better person, our idea is that if everyone focuses on being the better person,
or being the best person.
This means that the two persons in the relationship would naturally become better for each other. So to start off that, we are looking at number one, if you want to be a better spouse, value your spouse.
Value your spouse.
Value your spouse.
Yes.
Place a high premium on your spouse. There are so many people out there who are longing to be in a marital relationship to enjoy what you have with you.
Yes.
In fact, we think that if you have a good spouse, if you have someone who loves you, someone who sees you to be dear to him or her,
yes,
you are blessed. You have a miracle in your hand.
Yes.
So what do? Don't take that person for granted.
I like the word miracle because if you're in a relationship where you have someone who adores you, someone who reveres you, somebody who esteems you, consider that a miracle. Because there are a lot of relationships out there where the other person in the relationship would treat the other person as trash. And if you have someone who places premium value, that's another word you use that I love, premium value on you, you are blessed. It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle because there are singles out there who want to be married, but they are not married. Not because you're better than them, but circumstances have not allowed them to come in contact with their own life partner. There are also people who are married, but they are struggling in their marriage. In fact, some of them would wish to jump out of that marriage.
Yes.
For them, it seems like marriage is like a prison,
a trap,
but they are staying on because of maybe social stigma. If they leave the marriage,
yes,
people will stigmatize them.
Yes.
Some are there because of their children.
Yes.
So if you have that person, value the person.
Now, drawing from what you said about valuing your spouse, I would say one way you can value your spouse is by you being appreciative of your spouse. Just recognize the little things they do. They might be little, they might be big, but it's about you acknowledging his or her contribution, the sacrifices that they are constantly and consistently making in the relationship. Just saying, you know what, I value what you do. I appreciate your effort. I appreciate the little nothings that you do around the house, outside of the house, just to make sure that things are kept running smoothly on the home front. So it's all about you appreciating their effort.
Talking about appreciating your spouse, for instance, if your spouse makes financial contribution to the home, it could be a man, it could be the woman in the relationship or in the marriage.
Yes.
You have to appreciate that effort. Don't assume because it's your responsibility to provide for the family, so you don't need to be appreciated for it.
Yes.
There are people out there, there are spouses out there who don't even support their family.
Yes.
They have the money, but they don't care about how their family is, taken care of.
Yes,
and
on a day-to-day basis.
So, and there are others as well who don't even care to go out and make some money.
Yes, they just sit around.
They lazy around doing nothing. So if you have a man, you have a woman in your life who you're married to, who makes financial provision or contribution.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that because I think that the fact that they go out there and do something and still come back and say to you, this is a value, this is something I have brought back, appreciate it. Now, I just want to say that another way you can actually show that you value your spouse is about respecting your spouse. show them respect. Sometimes when you get to live with somebody over a period of time, you kind of get used to them, and you're like, I know him, I know her, you kind of begin to take each other for granted.
They say, familiarity breeds contempt. When you're so used to someone, you just take the person like any other person, just like that.
Yes. So I think you need to be conscious. We need to be conscious about that in our relationship. Bearing in mind that this person is a human being. How would I want to be treated? How would I want to be talked to? How would I want to be addressed? Stuff like that. Courtesy, sometimes we forget about saying please and thank you, to our spouse because we kind of get used to it. We kind of like forget to say I'm sorry sometimes because you feel like they should get it, they should understand it. So it's about showing that you value your spouse. Is all about how much respect that you place on your spouse. And I would say that this is not gender specific. It doesn't matter whether he is the man in the home or the woman in the home. Even your children deserve respect as well.
I wanted to point that out. When some people talk about respect, it seems like it's just for the men. Men are the ones who deserve respect. But the truth is, everyone deserves to be respected. So for you to show that you actually value your spouse and your spouse will actually know that you place so much value on them, it is by how much you respect them. To be a better spouse, we think it is also important that you keep working on yourself. We define love as doing the best and being the best for someone, for that person you have chosen. So for you to show that you love this person so much, you have to keep improving yourself. There are things your spouse may not be happy about, the things he or she has been complaining about. The idea is improve yourself, make some of the adjustments that you are required to make to be a better person for your spouse.
And I would just say that everybody is work in progress. I just wanted to put that out there. So no one is coming into a marriage as a perfect person. So no matter how perfect you are, there are areas of imperfection that still needs to be worked on. And I would say that there are glaring ones. There are ones that can be potential hazards in a relationship. So when you think about things like anger, for example. So how do you manage your emotion in terms of when you're angry? What does it look like? Does the house go on fire? Does everything, you blow the fuse? How do you manage that emotion? Because potentially that would have a huge impact on your relationship. And if you want to be a better spouse, I think you need to tone it down on the anger point of view. I mean, if you're angry, everybody can be angry, but it's about how you react, how you come across.
Your emotion when you're not angry. Happy, when you're angry. Like, go on.
I mean, you shouldn't go hitting someone if you're angry.
That's way out of order.
It's a no-no in a relationship. So think about how you manage that, because there's a lot of self-control involved in that.
Improving yourself to be better may also require you getting out there to get some education, to upskill yourself so as to improve your capacity to make financial contributions at home. So whatever you can do to be a better you. Life is progressive, and we believe that everyone should be involved in an unending self-development. So keep working on yourself to be the better version of you every time, so that your spouse would always look forward to having that connection with you, being with you. When he or she engages in a conversation with you, it's going to be quality conversation because you're not where you used to be. You keep progressing.
And I think this is a very important point that you've just mentioned. But moving on from there, I think that another aspect that needs working on is the sex life. Because sometimes people get, improve, go on to upskill themselves, get all the, fancy jobs and, making all the cash. But the sex life is very boring.
Yeah.
So you can actually improve on that. We've done a series of videos on sex and how you can actually spice up your relationship in that area.
Yeah.
So it's all about you thinking about creative ways to making it a memorable experience. Remember, as I always say, this is one aspect of your life that you
cannot
do
share
not,
with anyone else.
It's exclusive.
Yes.
It's actually exclusive. So make it exciting. Make it, make your spouse always look forward
Let it be a wow experience each time you have that.
Yes.
So for a guy, improving yourself in that area could mean learning to, take it slowly and take your time to, when you have sex with your wife, you learn to prolong the process.
Yes.
So that you don't leave her halfway.
Maybe not prolong the process, but basically working together. So whatever
what I mean by prolong the process is such that you don't get satisfied before her.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it's good that you said that.
Yes.
Another way you can be a better spouse is finding things that you enjoy doing together. I understand that you might have separate hobbies, separate interests, but one way you can be a better spouse is for you to find out what your spouse is interested in and genuinely you enjoy doing that together with your spouse. Be interested in each other's interests.
I think it's important for couples to have common interests.
Yes.
Even though you have your separate hobbies, separate interests, let there be something that two of you can
enjoy
do together.
Together,
Even
yes.
if it's not your thing, meet each other halfway.
Yes.
So that you would, have the opportunity
to connect,
to stay together, to grow together, or else you're going to grow apart.
That's true.
For instance, we do this video together. At least it's one thing that we always find a way to work on together, and
yes.
we enjoy.
Yes, we do enjoy it.
Another important point which we know that for you to be a better spouse, you must be involved in is to support your spouse.
Yes, do whatever you can to support your spouse emotionally, physically, and financially. I know this is the big word, the financial bit. Marriage is for interdependence, where you can actually lean on each other.
Yeah.
That's the whole essence of being married. So someone has got strength in a particular area, the other person is weak in a particular area, but then you complement
each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's all about sharing your burden together. One person should not be overloaded in a relationship. One person should not be overburdened in a relationship.
Yeah, like you're saying, imagine a situation where a man is not responsible financially.
Yes.
And he gives all the responsibility of managing the home, of taking care of the financial responsibilities of the home on the woman.
Yes.
That could be overbearing for that woman.
Yes. So everyone needs help.
Yeah, so what a man needs to do in that sense is to support. Even if you're the one providing for the family solely.
Yes.
And you come home and you see that there is need to support your wife in doing certain things, minor things.
Yeah.
Create that opportunity and support your wife.
Yes. You mean in terms of like the chores around the home?
Yes, that's physical support now.
Yes.
Emotionally, if your spouse is going through difficult times, maybe at work or whatever it is.
Yes.
Encourage him or her.
Yes. So your emotional support.
Empathy, emotional support, very important.
So it's all about challenging your spouse to be the best.
Yeah,
the best version.
Him or her,
Yes, the best version of themselves. And not just you focusing on yourself, but it's also good that you focus on yourself, because in being the best or in being a better spouse, your spouse becomes the best.
Yeah, I think the best gift you can give to your spouse is the best version of you.
Yes.
Doing that means you have to support them to be their best, to achieve their best as well.
Another way you can be a better spouse is you need to protect the interest of your spouse.
Wow.
I cannot overemphasize the importance of this. You need to give a positive impression of who your spouse is before others. If you present your spouse to your family, to your colleagues, to your friends, what do you say about them? How do you treat him or her before others?
Yeah, if you present your spouse as a king or a queen, That is actually how others will treat them.
That's true.
However, if you treat your spouse as nobody, you don't respect him or her, that is the same way others will treat them.
Yes, so it's all about how you place dignity on your spouse. The impression that you give others about your spouse.
But that doesn't mean that you have to, protect an abusive spouse. When there is an issue in the marriage where you need to open up, it doesn't mean you have to die in silence.
Yes.
You should know when to involve a third party and know the right person to be involved in your marital relationship.
That's true. Yes, you don't have to wash your dirty linen in public, but there are some linens that you have to talk about. I mean, if it's an abusive relationship, you don't want to die in silence.
Yeah.
But then make sure, like my husband said, the person that you speak to is a trusted person. It's someone who understands the intricacies of the situation you find yourself.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean any little thing. You run to family members or friends to talk about your spouse. There are issues you have to deal with together
in your relationship.
Minor issues, but there are red flags. When they are there, you must escalate it. We've seen situations where someone kept silent and it ended in loss of life.
Yes.
That is why you need to take the right measure at the right time.
Another thing to note is do not give up on your marriage when things are tough. Oh, we always say something. Tough times never last,
but tough couples do.
And tough marriages do. So I would say that, you need to stay committed to each other. You need to stay committed to your marriage. Things happen in life. I must say there are challenging moments. There are seasons that you have to weather. And, sometimes could be financial, could be emotional, could be infertility problems. I mean, there are lots of challenges. Could even be a health challenge. Could be the loss of a job. There's so many things that could happen in a relationship, but that doesn't mean that you give up on your relationship. You guys are built to last. You can weather the storm together.
In fact, if there is any time to prove to someone that you love the person, it is when things are tough. That is when you show how much resilience you have and how much committed you are to the relationship. It's not when things are rosy, all sweet and good, you say you love the person.
Yes.
And when things are contrary to how they used to be, you give up on your relationship.
Now, this is not the focus of the conversation, but we thought we should bring this up because in marriage, sometimes infidelity could happen.
Yeah, I've seen situations where one spouse went outside the boundaries of marriage and had an affair.
Yes.
And such could wreck the marriage forever.
Yes. So when this happens, it's a tricky situation because it depends on the circumstances, it depends on how it was done and the intricacies around it. But basically, we have seen people navigate this. And there's a possibility that your marriage can survive infidelity.
Yes.
This could also be a strong ground for divorce and separation.
Yeah, you have a point because in some settings, infidelity is a strong reason for divorce. Even within the legal system,
yes,
you could actually divorce your spouse because of infidelity.
I think the key thing to note here is that the spouse in that situation can assess it critically, assess what has happened in order to make a decision about, what should be done. Now, the capacity to stay in the relationship when your spouse has been able to retrace their steps, to show that they are genuinely repentant about what has done,
what happened,
could be a solid proof of love.
Yes.
And the relationship could survive.
To be a better spouse, we think you have to give quality time to your marriage. Life is busy. We've done a couple of videos talking about how people can grow apart and how business of life can affect a relationship.
Yes.
But in this case, you have to create that quality time despite how busy you are, despite all the external factors dragging for your time.
Yes, it's all about, like you said, creating memorable time together. It could be an hour in a weekend, it could be 2 hours. It's just about you blocking that special time and making sure that you have an agenda. Of course, an interesting agenda for the both of you. So I would say seek out ways that you can spend quality time together. Even at work, you can ring that person or send a text message or check up on someone. The different little things that you can invest, the time you can invest in building that
Your
bond.
relationship. Yes, creating quality time shows that you're intentional about working on your marriage, about having emotional connection with your spouse, about speaking the love language of your spouse. When you do this, is a proof that you are a better spouse.
On your priority list, where do you place your marriage? Now, I'm not asking you to answer this question, but you have to be genuine. You have to be honest with yourself, because to be a better spouse, you must create quality time.
Yeah, and place your marriage at the top of your priorities.
Another way you can be a good spouse, now this could be subjective depending on who is actually watching this right now, is to give your spouse a good sex. Now, for some reason, I was just saying to my husband, I think we've been talking about this sex thing all the time, but probably he feels different. He said, no, we haven't said it in this video. Now, it is very important that you create exciting, pleasurable experience for your spouse.
Yes, the reason is important is that for some people, they just block off that area.
Oh, okay.
And if you're, for instance, if your spouse is the one seeking for opportunity for sexual experience and
Yes.
you're not providing that, from his point of view, you're not a better spouse.
Yes. So it's all about understanding that this is on the to-do list. How you do it, whether 2 times, 3 times, or maybe every single day, I don't know.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. But somewhere on the to-do list, it has to be there. So good sex is important.
Yeah. A better spouse gives the partner opportunity for wonderful sexual experience.
Wow.
To be a better spouse, we believe you have to learn to forgive each other.
Yes.
Marriage is a very long journey, and bad things happen in marriage. Couples or spouses do step on each other's toes.
Yes.
They offend each other.
Yes.
So you have to make that adjustment in your heart to be able to forgive.
Yes, there's an idiomatic expression that says, too close for comfort. You know, sometimes someone can be too close and you get to see all of their things from a bad sort of point of view because they are too close.
Very close to you. My belief that if anyone is going to offend you, is that person who is closest to you.
Yes.
The reason is that close proximity creates opportunity for offense. The way you come across in terms of communication, conflict.
In marriage, a lot of people come from different perspectives. They come in with their experiences, they come in with their, their history, they come in with nurture. A lot of things coming into the relationship. Basically, that person is not the same as you are or haven't got the same experiences as you've got. Now, there's likely to be, perception or things that person could view from their own lens. And of course, you're trying to understand each other, so you're weaving into understanding how to work or how to navigate issues like this. And sometimes it creates conflicts.
Definitely it does. So you have to learn to forgive.
Yes.
In fact, we suggest you can even have advanced forgiveness. Create room to forgive in advance, knowing that offense will definitely happen.
Another thing we thought we should mention on how you can be a better spouse is you need to be faithful to your spouse. That one person, marriage is exclusive for that person. Be faithful to them. Physical and emotional affairs can destroy marriages. And sometimes people stray in a relationship, especially when you're growing apart. So it's very important that we learn how to resist temptation when they occur. And I would say it's all about you being open with your spouse. So you're getting an attraction for somebody, at work, or, someone is hitting at you or hitting on you. Say that to your spouse. Have a conversation. Can you imagine? I was at the work today and someone complimented me in a very sexy way, for example. That could happen.
Yeah.
But you being open about these things would not allow secrecy to thrive
in
the relationship. So having that sort of open conversation is important, and that shows the level of faithfulness that you have for your spouse.
You have to be faithful, because the best thing you can do to anyone you love, anyone who has invested trust and confidence in you, is to keep your promise of faithfulness to you.
Yes.
To them. So don't break that trust.
Yes, it erodes confidence as well. So it is important that
can destroy your marriage.
So whatever you do, however you do it, just make sure that you stay faithful to your spouse. Temptation happens, but it's up to us what we do when it presents itself.
Another point we think is important if you want to be a better spouse is to allow your spouse some breathing space. Some people think that to be intimate with your spouse, you have to always be there with them physically.
Yes.
You have to always close up. Don't give them any breathing space. Don't allow them to even talk to friends, colleagues. When they have a phone call coming from someone else, you're thinking, what's going on, you know? And that is not right.
So, I mean, it's okay. It's okay for you to have different hobbies. Yes, we talked about having similar interests.
Yes.
But at the same time, people need space to breathe.
Yeah.
People need space just to do what they care about.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know, you don't want to being intimate with your spouse or having intimacy with your spouse does not mean that you will not allow them that opportunity to have some breathing space.
I know, and for men sometimes it works very well when we want to rejuvenate, when we want to like have our me time.
Yes.
For instance, some men like football like I do. So if my wife doesn't give me the opportunity to at least watch this football, that
enjoy your game,
enjoy my game.
Yes.
If she likes, she can join, be my company, and we enjoy the game together.
Yes.
Then
sometimes I do.
It could be suffocating, you know, where you want him to always be there physically for you. Another point I want to raise is where a woman wants to visit her friends and the husband is saying no, or she wants to visit her family or spend 2-3 nights with them. He's not in it at all because he wants her to be at home, do the cooking, do everything for him.
Yes.
You know, that's not right. You're not giving that person opportunity to breathe.
Yeah. It's important for us to rejuvenate. It's good for our well-being. Both of us in the relationship.
Yes.
It helps us to just clear our heads and get things in perspective.
Yeah.
So please give your spouse some space.
I just also want to add that sometimes that space creates opportunity to long for each other.
That's true.
You miss each other when you're not together all the time.
Yes.
So when you now come together, it seems like the love affair is starting all over again. You're so engrossed with each other.
That's true. Finally, we just want to touch on this point because we think it's important, and it's about praying for your spouse. You know, I think there is a lot of benefit in just you praying from your heart, just pouring out your heart to God for each other and expecting the best thing either for him or for her. You know, marriage is not a competition, but it's an opportunity to complement each other. And one of the ways you can do this is to take time to engage a spiritual expression of prayer. This helps you to relieve stress, even in forgiveness. It makes it easy to forgive.
Because you can't pray for someone with all your heart.
Yes.
If you have not forgiven that person, if you have bitterness in your heart for the person.
Yes.
So today we give you an assignment. If you're married here, you have a spouse, please take some moments to pray for your spouse.
Yes.
That makes you a better spouse.
Yeah, and I would say you cannot force any human being to change. You cannot make anybody to change. It's all in the hands of them. It's all in their hands. It's all in their mind. And it's all about you just praying that they would have a change of mind. That is not in your power to do.
Like you just said, remember that the success or the failure of your marriage is in your hand. 50% in your hands. You know, you have to do your part, play your own role, be the best version of you, and expect that your spouse will do the same.
Now we've highlighted a couple of ways that you can become a better spouse. Maybe you can think about more ways. So please put it down in the comment section. Just tell us what you think. How have you become a better spouse? Tell us. And maybe we haven't quite mentioned this, and we would love to read that. And I want to say thank you for engaging with us, for all our returning subscribers. And if you're new to our channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. And now we'll come to you again until the next episode. It's goodbye from us.